Creepers, creepers, where'd you get those creepers? Creepers, creepers, where'd you get those eyes?
Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews.
I always feel quite sad when I think of Jeepers Creepers.
And I'm Gary, and today we're going to review and discuss Jeepers Creepers, which released in 2001 from writer-director Victor Salva. Iain, why don't you give us the synopsis?
Well, the story follows brother and sister Trish and Dari Jenner. They are driving back to their parents' house from college, I believe, and are taking the long, winding, scenic route back home. But along the way, they notice something sinister being thrown into a tunnel by a church by a weird man in a rusty truck. As the truck chases them across the country, the two of them realize that what is chasing them may not actually be a man.
I don't know if it's a demon or a devil, or just some hungry thing from some dark place in time.
Well, I suppose we should probably just address the elephant in the room straight away.
Victor.
Yes, and talk about briefly Victor Salva, who was convicted in 1988 of sexual misconduct with a 12-year-old he videoed.
Yeah, don't forget he had videos about it.
And he also had lots of other incriminating stuff at his house. And he was sentenced to 3 years, but served, I think, 15 months before he was let go. And then went on to direct films for Disney, like Powder.
Yeah.
And then eventually Jeepers Creepers, which of course he wrote and directed. And I have to say, like, it's one of those where you have to disassociate the artist from the art if you're really going to want to enjoy this. And for the most part, I guess it would be best to just not know, but at the same time you probably should know so you can make your own decision as to whether you want to actually watch his work.
Yeah, I mean, off the bat, like, we're not going to be sitting here going, oh my god, he's an absolute great director for making this film and praising him. No. We'll praise the skill that I suppose he inputted it, but we'll try to avoid using his name at all, at least anytime.
Yeah. I have to say, I've got very fond memories of this film. This was the very first horror movie I got to see in the cinema. I got to take my brother, it was a 15 rated movie, and in we went, and the both of us thoroughly enjoyed this film at the time, and then of course we eagerly waited for the sequel, the follow-up, and then we just kind of regret that they made more after that. Oh dear.
Yeah. I remember this film as well coming out at a time where the horror franchise series had just kind of, I wouldn't say started to die, because we always get those lows, don't we?
Yeah, well, in the late 90s, early 2000s, we had the Scream, Scream resurgence, revitalized horror, kind of got that meta level.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'd had our Freddys and our Jasons and our Michael Myers, and then that had taken a low, and then Wes Craven has brought it back, and then all of a sudden it starts to take a low. And this Jeepers Creepers is like pre-remake time, when we get all the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes and the Toolbox Murder remakes, and they're taking movies from the 70s. All of a sudden this movie comes along where it really felt independent style.
Oh, yeah.
We start with Gina Phillips playing Trish Jenner and Justin Long, Dari Jenner, driving along in their car, and that wide shot of the car just coming along the road and two of them just chatting. It weirdly feels like the two of them have spent some time off camera just kind of chatting about things that brothers and sisters might chat about while they're doing a drive. They hate each other, but they love each other, and it kind of comes through. It's a little bit kind of amateurish, but I really put that down to the ages of the actors doing their job. I mean, what we said, Justin Long was what,
22, yeah.
22?
And I think Gina was 30 at the time.
Yeah, so Justin Long's really still quite young. He's just come off the back of Galaxy Quest, and this is his first major leading role. As we said, like, the director, I don't know if there was reasons why he picked him. I don't care, but Justin Long...
I can say why he was picked. And that was because in the several hundred auditions, I suppose, Justin Long was the only one who showed a real vulnerability and the ability to act scared. Where he said all the other guys that auditioned were kind of had not a machoism to them, but they couldn't show their fear. Whereas Justin can, and so that's why he was cast. He was a natural.
Yeah, and it plays really, really well to the story of Jeepers Creepers and how it plays out.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons was just mentioning like how comfortable the two of them seemed with each other. He also said that he wanted, like, instead of having a couple driving along, but having brother and sister, meant there was that family bond, which might also be stronger and also removes any sexual tension from the film as well, so that they can focus on surviving when things get bad. But also, interestingly, he had the script, actors read the script, but he also allowed the two of them to improvise as much as they wanted to.
Nice.
And that all made it into the final cut. And so you do kind of get that real natural sibling rivalry as they're bickering and arguing before, well, we see this this truck moving very quickly behind them.
Yes, I've got to say those review shots are really, really well done. You know, it really reminds me of Duel by Steven Spielberg. All of a sudden, was it that camper van that they're behind, and then as the camper van turns away, you just get this hazy, rusty image shooting up the back of them, and then he starts honking his horn. He's telling them to get out of the way, but you know, Dary's driving, so he's pulling to the left, and then the truck's following to the left, and he's pulling to the right, and it's really quite frantic, really quite scary and stuff like that. But it works for this movie. Just like I don't know how to explain it, but how we always kind of complain about really crappy jump scares, and it feels like 2001 Jeepers Creepers was almost the birth of early 2000s jump scares, you know, because if you just get a horn on a truck honking really loudly, and
but it's the fact that it's not really a jump scare, it's the fact that you get to see the truck coming that whole time. And so like you're anticipating and building, but it is that the noise, the volume of that horn, that is it makes you jump even though you know it's coming. So it's like, it's really well done. And and I also have to say, one of the reasons why I also really like this early sequence is that there's no music.
No,
there's some occasional whoosh noises as the truck's maneuvering, but there's no music, but it's still incredibly tense without it.
Yeah.
What the hell's his problem?
Just get out of his way, Derry!
They're kind of pushed to the side by the truck, and you get that brief little peeing sequence where they pull to the side, and the two of them are still just kind of trying to ignore the truck, but they also have that back history story, you know, which I only realized for this review as I worked out the numbers, that it's a story from 23 years before about a guy and a girl who were in love, and they were in college, and then something took them out, but her head was taken. I'm assuming her body was left, and his body is missing. The boyfriend's body's missing, and the two of them, Justin and Gina, it's like a loose thread of information, but the way that they deliver it, it really lingers over the movie, and it will actually pay off, which I always thought was really quite nice, that the two of them could put in this bit of information that you think half the time, oh, it's not going to go anywhere, and then when it does pay off, you're like, wow. It makes you want to go back and revisit the film again of all these little things.
Now, I think one of the strongest and most striking images in this film is when they do keep driving, and they eventually see this old church, and they see the truck parked to the side, and they see this figure in a hat grabbing this
carpet, this carpet wrapped in. We don't know what it is. It doesn't look like a body wrapped in a sheet and tied with rope
with red bloodstains on them. And so they're questioning this as they're driving on. Before you know it, but it's the shot as they're driving past that the creeper is watching them.
It's watching
and
them.
It watches them drive off. And I was like, that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, that truck is beelining right for them again. This time right up their back, ramming them in the back. This time the music kicks in.
Yeah.
It really heightens everything up. And keeps smacking them until they eventually drive off the road, and then the truck carries on again.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
And Derry, in all of his great wisdom, turns to his sister and says, hey, why don't we go back and look into the pipe to see if there's anything in there that we can see, much like that body that we might not have seen be thrown down the pipe. Now, when I was looking into the notes for how the film's idea came about, I read that, some information was found on an Unsolved Mysteries TV episode about a couple who were driving along and they saw somebody throwing something down this pipe near this building. And so I saw that and I kind of thought, well, okay, so the director obviously has taken some of that idea and has melded it into this movie. But this sequence with Dari, he's really stupid. And I know his sister is kind of being supportive with his idea, but just that thought process of, hey, let's go back. Let's go see what we can see so we can report it. That is your typical tropey horror movie kind of idea.
In order for like 90% of all horror movies to happen, somebody has to do something stupid. You know? It just has to happen.
It does have to happen.
Although, what I can say with this film is that because it is based loosely, I suppose, on real events, that old couple, after seeing what they saw, did go back there to see if what they saw was what they think they saw.
Yeah.
And so, Dari's there, he's flashlight looking down the tunnels. I think I can hear somebody down there. And there is one key line that sells them on wanting to go back, is when he turns to his sister and goes, what if it was you down there?
Yeah.
And that again plays on their brother-sister love.
Yeah.
And that you would want to go back if there was somebody down there. If you found out later that you were there and somebody down there needed help and then died because nobody helped them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty smart script writing because, you know, he's playing on the idea of like, we should be doing the good thing. And it's like, yes, we should do the good thing. But at the same time, you're in a horror movie, Mr. Justin Long.
Okay, you know the part in scary movies where somebody does something really stupid and everybody hates them for it? This is it.
Doing the good thing doesn't pan out ever in a horror movie.
No.
But
so he gets startled by rats. His sister lets go of him.
She's hanging on to his ankle. I mean, I do like the look of the rusted pipe.
Yeah.
I do like how that's all set up. I like the long shot with him
the
at the
abandoned
end.
church, I love that as well, with all the crows on top.
This film does genuinely look really, really good in a lot of its shots, from day and into night.
Yeah.
I mean, the night shots themselves, they're not overly black. You can still see stuff. The shadow lays on characters so well that actually you don't want to see the things. But at this point, I mean, when he goes sliding down that tunnel, I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was stupid, but now I look at it, I kind of like that slow motion fall of his body hitting the floor.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I imagine they did that, like, he's not really falling down, but he's filmed sideways, you know, falling. But he sells it really well. And when he gets up, he eventually finds the sheets, and it starts moving.
Yeah.
And he pulls them away to find this dying boy who's basically been stitched back up.
Yeah.
But there is really no saving him. And, now that Dari's down here, he kind of looks around some more and he finds the creeper's, like, work shed. And he sees, like, all of these carvings. We see the creeper carving in the table briefly. We don't really know what it is yet. But it's the fact that it is the Sistine Chapel of corpses. And it is like the largest set in the film, and it is very well decorated. They wanted even more bodies, but budget cut kind of reduced it. But I still think it's really very eerie looking.
Oh, totally. It's surprisingly, this House of Pain, as they call it, surprisingly for me, it's the one sequence from Jeepers Creepers that a lot of people don't really talk about. You know, and I think it's mainly because we don't actually know a lot about it. All we know is that this is the Creeper's kind of lair. He must have been dropping bodies down here for
centuries.
Years.
I don't know.
Well, because we see the boyfriend and the decapitated girlfriend's head from the story that the sister and brother have been talking about. You know, Justin Long sees the ring. He freaks out. Justin Long plays this basement sequence brilliantly, and like Gary said when he was doing his opening, you know, you can see the vulnerability from Justin Long of being scared, of being down here, and that plays into you because you don't want him to be there anymore. The creeper could come back at any point.
Yeah, she's waiting for him, and then we see the lights in the distance, and we're like, oh, because that's the biggest fear, is that, like, the creeper could come back at any minute.
Any point.
And so when you see the lights down there, it's like, oh, he's coming back. You're going to get caught now. But then she starts panicking, trying to get the car to start. Typical horror trope, the car won't start.
Yeah.
And then the truck goes past, and it's a completely different truck.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. But then the real jump scare comes when Dari finally bangs on the window. And she's like, ah! And he just can't even get a word out. He's just absolutely traumatized by what he's just seen.
Yeah.
So Trish drives them then to the nearest diner.
Yeah.
And again, it's a complete set, not a real location, but apparently real people were driving up and going, "Oh, diner and food, in we go." It's like, oh, you're just a set. Oh, and then off they drove.
But it does look absolutely kind of real. You know, you've got Dari and Trish going in there. They're wanting to call the cops to tell people what they've seen, and people aren't really believing them. We don't know what area they are in. I mean, we aren't really told.
It's a made-up state in this, but they filmed it all in Florida.
Yeah, and it's just setting up the idea that they're trying to call the police now to obviously get somebody to look at the church. And so the police do turn up, and Dari is explaining to this cop, like, look, I know what I saw. You know, we'll go to the church right now. I'll show you everything. He stitched these bodies up, you know, the guys still... And even the cop brings up the thought, look, these kids have been missing for 20 years. Their bodies should be dust by now. And Dari says, no, he's preserving them somehow. He's keeping them there as kind of trophies or artwork or something, or food source. We don't know. And that kind of really bums me out, because this movie sets up this person, this thing, so well that it never inevitably ever will ever pay off. That it just fucking just makes me angry.
Oh.
But the cops say to Dari and Trish, yeah, come on, like, we're going to take you to the station, or we're going to take you to be questioned. And as they're driving down the highway, you just hear something land on the roof of their car. And the cop's just like, oh, I think the sky's fallen. And you get that shot of Dari and Trish in their car. They're listening to the radio, and the radio's playing the Jeepers Creepers song. Now, this movie sets up that fucking psychic lady.
It does, yeah. Because she already called them once when they were at the diner,
At the diner, yeah.
Like, I know who you are. I know you've got a ripped shirt. I know you know what's going on. They're like, crazy lady, leave us alone.
But I've always loved the idea of this crazy lady knowing these things and trying to save the kids before something bad happens. But unfortunately, after this, it will never fucking be panned out. After this movie, sorry, it will never be panned out again. And so I just like... It's fucking just infuriates me, this great idea, because when he hears the Jeepers Creepers song, he turns up the radio, and so he can't hear what the creeper is doing behind him to the two cops.
Right. We see the one cop get pulled out the side, and the other cop still driving. He's like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then the creeper cuts open the top of the police car, lifts him up through the top of it, and you see that axe go up in the air.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a cool look. Oh, it's too late. He swung it. And then he throws the head at Dari and Trish.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it just bounces off the hood of their car.
It was at this point, I remember the first time I was watching this movie, like, nobody had told me anything, but they were like, oh, you need to watch Jeepers Creepers. It's a really cool idea. And by this point, the person who was showing me the movie was just like, oh, you're going to see something shocking and surprising. For me, though, being an experienced horror film watcher, I knew there must be something supernatural about this person, whatever, because so many things were just far too unexplainable. How he was able to get to the kids so fast. You know, how the hell he could ride the top of a fucking police car while it's driving at fucking 40 miles per hour.
How did he get up there?
How the fuck did he get up there? Where is he gone? I mean, there was that shot as well of Trish after their clothes had been all discarded and supposedly he'd been sniffing them, that she hears something that sounds like a flapping of wings.
That's right, yeah.
And she looks up. I remember turning to my friend the first time and going, it's a creature, right? And he's like, oh no, it's not. How do you know? And I'm just like, it's fucking...
Because the film's letting you know. It's giving you the little clues here and there.
Especially at this point when she's trying to drive the car over him and the creeper is like leaping over it.
Right.
Like with no problem. He's just got fucking mystical powers. But you can see something's wrong with his eyes.
Yes. Yeah, he looks blind. And well, to be fair, the actor playing the creeper, when those contacts were put in, was pretty much blind.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, oh, the song, you know, where'd you get those peepers? Well, okay, maybe it'll all tie in somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, they end up, Trish ends up like reversing and then running him over eventually, and then reversing over him and then running over him again until Dari's just like, okay, Trish, I think you got him.
No, Dari, you're the fucking idiot of the group, okay? Right. You're the one who's fucking caused half of this shit.
Turn him into paste.
Just keep fucking going.
It's because then when you see that wing
oh my God,
shoot up, you're like, okay, 100% WTF.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. Now, again, it's something with this film that, like, almost everybody now knows because it's a franchise, that the Creeper is a monster. But yeah, if you weren't picking up on the original clues or as to what's going on, that wing reveal was the big, oh my god, this is a monster, a demon of some kind. We have no idea what it is.
Wouldn't that make you want to just get out and just keep fucking chopping it into pieces, though?
Yes.
So that it doesn't, because it's getting back up!
And so they end up driving and they end up getting to this other place. They're like, oh, we need to use your phone. And we get introduced to the cat lady.
Yes.
Played by Eileen Brennan, who we last saw in Clue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh.
And she's like, no, even if I had a phone, you can't use it. What would you want it for anyway? No, we need to call the police. She's like, no. And then we hear something. And she's like, what did you bring into my house?
Yeah.
And she storms back inside with her shotgun. And we hear it go off a few times. And then we see her being dragged out by the Creeper, who just kind of holds her out in front of her. And then we get the big face reveal.
It's such a great effect, you know, seeing the way he kind of sneers at them, he's sniffing the air, the teeth reveal, and the fact that he still can't see, but he knows that they're there, and you're just like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Now, I read in the note production as well that obviously the director lost like a massive load of his budget for this part of the movie. And I was saying to Gary before we turned the camera on that I could kind of understand where investors could come from if they found out certain information that they weren't too happy about. They might go, nope, we need to kind of take back some money and just let him finish so we can just get the film out. Or also they might have looked at some of the daily recordings and gone, where is this going? We're not confident that this film is actually going to be... And funnily enough, the film wasn't a blockbuster success when it came out.
It was. It was about $10 million budget, and it earned, I think, like just over 50 million worldwide. MGM didn't even give the film a premiere because they thought the film was going to be awful. Yet this film did amazingly well.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I remember like when it came out to the cinema, people were wanting to go see it, but it didn't feel like it hit big marks at that point. Like everybody had to rush it, like it was a summer blockbuster. It didn't feel like that. But the two of them have decided now they've got to go straight to the police station, you know, and they head straight there, and they're explaining to the cops what's going on, because obviously they've got to explain to the police officers that were following them have like gone now. And the Creeper turns up.
It cuts the power, man.
Yeah, it fucking cut the power. Like, I like the fact that like you see him get out of the truck, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, and he's fucking like
his legs all back.
Yeah, limping and stuff like that. But it's just so determined, and the way that the psychic lady turns up at the police station as well, and she is just explaining to the kids like, this thing will not stop. Ever. It's just going to keep coming for you. And she explains to the two of them, like, I don't know which one of you it wants, but it wants one of you. It smelt something in you. It's coming after you.
Well, she knows which one it's coming for because she saw it in a dream.
Oh, God, yeah.
And like Darry's just like, who was it? Who'd you see in your dream? And she turns to look at Trish.
Yeah.
And then they get interrupted. So you're like, oh, it's coming for Trish. And also, I mean, there was another red herring, I guess, earlier. I mean, spoilers now.
Yeah.
But when they were on the road earlier, Trish was like, I'm going to die on this road. So you're like, oh, it's foreshadowing her death. And then when she looks at her in the police station, like, all hinting towards Trish being the one that's going to be, that the Creeper is after.
Yeah, the film really does really, really well structure that up. But then there's other nods as well that you notice when you go back and rewatch the movie that you're like, you were showing me this, but you were actually going this way. And the Creeper cuts the power. The cops all get themselves sorted to obviously find out what's going on. And one of them heads down to the prison cells. And he gets down there and he finds the Creeper feasting on the prisoners.
Right.
Now, it won't be revealed until the second movie more so. But what we understand from the Creeper lore is that when it is injured, all it has to do is eat body parts to regain those body parts back.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this thing?
There is a literally a blink and you miss it moment where you see the prisoner that's being eaten's got like a snake tattoo going up his arm,
right,
ending on his hand.
Yeah.
And there's a sequence later where Trish and Dari are they're there with a two-way mirror, and the creeper's on the other side, and just for a second you see him put his hand on the mirror, and you see the top of the snake head on his hand. It's like little attention to detail moments like that, which you blink and miss moments, and like they really cared about how this creature comes across on screen, and so I really like that. I
mean, particularly this third part, for the fact that you haven't got much budget, and you're trying to make a kind of memorable actiony ending. You know, it's not brilliant. I wouldn't say it's brilliant. It's not like the Terminator shootout, but the fact that the creeper is in the police station, the police are ill-equipped to actually deal with it. Like it kills them like mercilessly. It rips out one guy's heart.
It does, that one guy. But then, like, for the most part, it's all done with the suspense of the voice, the radio chatter, about what's going on, what's happening, then that going quiet, and then nobody knowing what's going on, and then that guy all of a sudden getting his heart ripped out, and then it kind of cuts back to Trish and Dari as we hear the gunfire going on in the background. I also want to say that Jonathan Breck, who plays the creeper, also cameos as one of the police officers, the one on the right, the bald one.
Oh, no way.
Because he had to shave his hair for it to be in the creeper makeup, but he gets his face on the screen, at least.
Nice.
But Trish and Dari and the psychic lady end up trying to get away.
Yeah, and the creeper kind of catches up with them and then grabs the psychic lady at one point, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and
gives her the sniff.
Gives her the sniff and leaves her alive. And so for me at this point, I'm like, man, this is a really interesting horror character, because it doesn't just indiscriminately kill. It doesn't even really kill for food. It's killing for parts it wants.
Yeah,
it doesn't need her.
It needs to make you scared first, so that it heightens your aroma, so it can then easily smell and identify if you have any organs that it wants to harvest for itself.
Yeah. You're like, But it finally catches up with Dari and Trish, and we then get this final confrontation between the three of them just before the police turn up, and the creeper grabs Dari, and he won't let him go, and Trish is adamant, like, take me, you know, and he's like, you know, Dari's just like, don't you dare, because you've cared for these characters. This is what a lot of horror movies fail to do, is make you actually care for the characters by the end of the movie, so that when something bad's about to happen, you're going to sit there going, I feel bad that's happened now, you know, not, yay, he's dead, woohoo, let's bring the sequel. So when the creeper is confronted by all those cops, and then its fucking head reveals back, doesn't it? And you're like, and it lets out that huge scream, it reveals its huge wings as well, and you're like, is it a demon? Is it a monster? Is it a mutant? What the fuck is it? It's an eldritch horror. It's such a shame that we don't have any substantial history behind it, but then it flies off up to the moonlight and gone, and Trish is trying to chase it, and it's revealed to you that Dari's eyes is what it's been after from the very start of the moment it smelt Dari, I suppose. Yeah. And that's what we've been seeing all the way through the movie, is it's not been going after Trish as your normal horror movie trope. It's been after Dari.
And it wanted his eyes.
That final body shot of Justin Long, I think, has always been great.
Yeah. I mean, just a bit of trivia for you here is that the creeper, when it looks through Dari's eye hole, that's actually Justin Long in the creeper makeup.
Oh, no
So
way.
It's got his eye.
Nice.
So it's like, yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. I like that.
But yeah, it is, I guess, like a bit of a downer ending. But at the same time,
A twist,
yeah. But it's kind of cool, like, and it's kind of scary that the creeper's still out there, because he is, for all intents and purposes, just the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And he is still out there, and every 23 years, he might just be coming for one of your organs.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn. Well, then, what were your favourite scenes from Jeepers Creepers?
Man, I wanted to be specific, and I was adamantly watching the movie to find actual sequences that I'd be like, that's really great. But then, as we said at the start, just the thought process of trying to pick out sequences that I could disassociate from what the director put together was really, really difficult. So to be balanced, I'm going to say all of the sequences with Justin Long and his sister together, I think, are really incredibly well acted. They really deliver the idea that they're brother and sister and that they're trying to get home and this thing is chasing them, and so it makes me really care for them throughout it. That being said, on the other side, anything to do with the creeper, you know, like you said, the guy playing the creeper, he played it so well. He doesn't need to speak. He doesn't even really need to do much. He just needs to look at you in that makeup. And so I really like what the makeup artist had done to create the look of the creeper, even pre-wing release.
Yeah, it's the costume as well, the hat and everything.
Yeah. I love it when the creature is revealed. I like the look of it. I like the way that it's detailed to you, that it's old dead skin and that this thing could be centuries old, and it's probably the smartest thing on the planet because it's been around for so long and it knows everything like a vampire and all that kind of stuff. It's great to look at. I would have maybe liked to have seen more of it in the light, but at the same time I think the light and dark shadows towards the third act work really well to keep it hidden, so that you kind of, when you see it revealed in that final shot with Justin Long with its wings and stuff like that, you're like, oh my god, what's that? And the movie takes it away and you're like, no! So yeah, I don't want to steal it all.
Yeah, I think there's some really great memorable moments in the film. The truck, you know, honking its horn. I think it's scary seeing this rust bucket coming flying at you. And again, the fact that there's no music, just that horn, and then the screams and the screeching tires.
Yeah.
Like, that sequence is really well captured. Darry falling after falling from the pipe and hitting the ground. I think it's a really, really cool shot.
Yeah.
The police car attack, when the creeper takes out one police officer, then pulls up the other one, decapitates him, and then throws his head at the others. It's like, that was great. Cat lady being captured by the creeper, and then the creeper's face reveal. Really enjoyed that moment. The big wing reveal when you find out, like, it's actually a creature. It's a monster of some kind.
Yeah.
That was really excellent. And then I guess the final shot with the creeper looking through Darry's eye hole. So yeah, that's, and then the Jeepers Creepers music playing in the background as well. Yeah, loved it. There's also one other shot that I really liked, and that's when he's eating the police officer, or he's eating his tongue.
Yeah.
And there's a giant billboard behind that just says, tastes so darn good. That's great. And then you're like, so the creeper's kind of got a sense of humor, especially with the be eating you license plate.
He does, yeah.
So
how the fuck did he get be eaten? Did he sign the paperwork for his car?
I guess he made it himself.
He made a license plate himself?
Well, I mean, we've seen his, like, Lair. He's kind of got all kinds of stuff going on down there. Well, Iain, do you recommend Jeepers Creepers?
I do recommend Jeepers Creepers, but at the same time, sadly, I think that you could not watch this film if you don't want to have a hole left in your heart of a character and a horror monster that could have been so big. The franchise could have been so great, but it was tarnished by the writer and the director. Justin Long is just absolutely phenomenal, and the actress playing his sister, I think, really does brilliantly bringing their two characters alive to make you care for them as they go along this journey being chased by this horrible, brilliantly looking creature. It's got some great kills, it's got some nice little jump scares. At the same time, it just sets up a bunch of lore and history that just won't go anywhere, and it really hurts. It really hurts that it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, I'm still highly recommending Jeepers Creepers. This is a must-watch for horror fans. It's tense, packed with suspense, and features a scary, well-designed and iconic horror monster. Jonathan Breck as the creeper is fantastic, from the high-quality makeup effects to his animalistic mannerisms and surprise bat wings. He is truly memorable. Gina Phillips and Justin Long were great casting. They were very believable as siblings fighting to survive the night. The way they bicker and argue, the improvisation, the way they embodied those characters made them feel real and very likeable, so that you root for them. The effects for the creeper stands up well today, minus some aging CGI work, but overall well done. The action scenes are well shot, there are some great shot composition, some very nice cinematography, making the film look great, backed up with a menacing music score by Bennett Salva. Film has a great pace, it has some good set pieces, a mysterious and memorable monster, great performances and some okay gore. This is a great horror film. It's a must-watch with one worthy sequel and two terrible ones. Yet this original is an instant classic. Fear takes a road trip. Thanks for watching Off the Shelf Reviews.
Children, have you ever met the bogeyman before? No, of course you haven't, for you're much too good, I'm sure. Don't you be afraid of him if he haven't.
What the hell is his problem?
My first guess, inbreeding!